Well, good morning. Good morning and happy Friday. Hope everyone is having an amazing day today. Hope you are having a great week and that you made it to the end of the week or you made it. Um, Let me tell you how I had a crazy morning. 3:30 this morning, my alarm, my house alarm goes off. Thankfully, it was nothing crazy. Nothing, no one was trying to break in. Um, I have the glass break alarm. And so I think the air filter had fell and it made it sound like it was a glass broke. So it triggered and it tripped the alarm. And I'm thankful that was all that it was because, yeah. Let me tell you about that jelly bean. That jelly bean was hiding underneath that bed, okay? It wasn't until I started walking through the house that he started following me. I'm about to get another dog, y'all. I'm about to get a big dog. But I'm happy that we are safe, and I'm happy it was nothing serious. Like, oh, you don't understand that. I could not go back to sleep. I was just like, it's just too much. So that's why I look a little tired, and I haven't had any coffee, but that's okay. But yeah, I just want to talk about this. This has been a conversation about safe love, soft love, letting love in, letting healthy love, and a lot of that's my prayer. I want healthy love. I don't want the chaotic love. I don't want the drama love. I want the love that it's not going to be perfect. I know that, but that's going to be consistent. That's going to be easy to handle and to deal with. Um, and I think that's something that needs to be discussed because I hear otherwise, you know what I'm saying? And you hear otherwise and you see otherwise. You see people that are dealing with chaos and they deal with it because in their minds it's like, well, that's all that I know. So we stay in this land of familiar. We never move forward into growth and saying like, no, I don't want this for my life. I want better. I want more. I want healthy. Um, and for some reason, there's a group of people out there that is trying to make people feel as though that um, being soft in a relationship means that you're being weak, that you're giving up your identity, and it's not. That's a strength. That's a strength. It's a strength to let go of everything that you don't even have control over, and to just relax and to lean into something. So I do want to talk about that today because I hear this a lot, and I'm like, when did when did this become popular? Like, when did being in drama? Because at least I could always remember, we into these relationships when we're younger, it starts getting drama. You might deal with it for a little while, but eventually people left, right? People walked away because it just was like, this is just too much chaos. And I understand that so many people never learn, right? Some people have never seen healthy relationships. They've never seen, those soft relationships. Um, but it's like people are making being in a healthy relationship seem as being boring, right? And I've heard people say this, like, I don't want to be in a boring relationship. And I'm like, what kind of relationship do y'all want to be in? Do y'all want to be in a healthy, happy relationship? You don't want to be in a love that's not going to have confusion, chaos, and division and drama. Like it really does. It scares me that people are looking for that. People want that. Um, I met someone about 3 years ago. We're chilling, we're hanging out, we're going on dates. And then, you get to that point because we're investing a lot of time into one another. So now it's like, what are we doing? Like I'm at a space in my life. I'm not trying to have like friends with benefits. I'm not looking for a whole bunch of homeboys and guy friends. So what are we doing here? And we finally had that conversation and he was like, yeah, you're a little bit too nice for me. Like, I like someone who's an a-hole. And I'm like, why? Like, why would you want someone that is intentionally like that, you know. And again, I used to be, like I say, the healing that I have done, a lot of it has to come with like the internal, my mindset, my anger. I had really bad anger issues growing up. So I can understand, you know, why people are, because people find humor in that. So if it's going to give them a good laugh, yeah, they would love to have you around. People used to love seeing me being angry because it made them laugh. It made them like, look at this, like she always mad at something, and you don't realize that until you start realizing like, but this is not what I want, right? And we shouldn't want that in a partner, in a person that you're gonna lay down with, spend every day with until the day that you die. And you think that you want to be with somebody that's going to be a hole and drama led. That's not, like, I want the safe love. I want the love that I don't have to figure out like, is today going to be the day I have to walk on eggshells, or is the day that the day that I have to like watch what I say because they can go from 0 to 100. Like that's not healthy love. So if that is something that you want, I want you to really figure out, you know, are you truly ready for that peace, right? Are you living in peace right now? And this is the reason why, if you go I watched yesterday's Throwback Thursday video, right? Go back and watch that video because I spoke about the things that we should be doing in our season of single, right? And so one of those things that if I don't think I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned it, but you need to figure out what brings you peace, right? So you're seeing, if you go on the other side of social media, you're seeing a whole bunch of single people that have done a lot of healing. And they're like, if you are disturbing my peace, I'm going to stay by myself because I already know I don't disturb my peace. Powerful. That's what y'all need. Figure out where your peace is right now. Because once you already living in peace and you're doing that by yourself on a day-to-day basis, it's going to be 10 times harder for anyone to come in, and you're going to allow them to come in and intentionally with the drama and the nonsense. So figure out what makes you what peace looks like for you. Figure out how you can handle healthy consistency, because some of us are not used to that, right? And so the good part is that I know that consistency is not the biggest thing in my family as far as like my father, because he was not around. So that was my first letdown, my first inconsistent, you know, partnership, relationship. However, I have experienced consistency with other people. So, in other experiences in other environments. So, just because I haven't experienced it with like my father, I did know what it was and I have experienced it. And it's like, I want more of that. Right. So, there's things that you just got to continue to, you got to renew this mindset about. Right. If you're one of those people that, oh, it's like we're not arguing every day, we don't have any, like, there's no beef. Oh, he's just boring. Then baby, stop dating and go and sit down and figure out why you are looking for peace to enter your life. And if you are meeting people that are saying these things to you, like I did 3 years ago, look, don't go backwards, especially if you've done the work to get past that. Don't go backwards. Let them people be, right? Let them be over there where they at. I had to let that person be, right? It's not my party, not my issue. I know what I don't want to sign up for, and I just didn't sign up for it, and I just walked away, right? So again, love doesn't have to always come with this big, loud, and raw, you know. And so for me, I know that in this season, and y'all heard me talk about this before, Jelly Bean was the whisper that came in to help me to deal with affection, to deal with embracing love, new love, right? That's something that we might have to work on, right? I'm not really big on affection. Affection has never been my thing, especially in the relationship capacity. In case my sister's watching this, because she loves to interject and be like, "When you're affectionate with me," siblings are just annoying, but in like relationships. So when Jelly Bean came back into my life in May, it's just like, oh my gosh. So it's like I had to, you know, he's learning to trust me. I'm learning to trust him, you know. And so for me, that was kind of the gateway of allowing myself to start really saying, okay, I think I can let love come in. I think I can allow myself, because this feels good. This doesn't feel too overbearing, doesn't feel too much. I mean, sometimes Jelly Bean can be a little bit too much. But it's like I realized that there was just certain things that I did not have to like adjust to again, right? So when I did, you meet someone and you're kind of getting to know them. You might hold hands with one another. That didn't like freak me out. That didn't give me the ick. That didn't give me the "Ugh, why are you touching me?" Because that's historically how I dealt with things because I never felt safe enough in being affectionate and to receiving that and dealing with that gentle, right? We're dealing with that gentle. So I think so many people when they look at the raw, they're looking at the big gestures, they are missing the fact that some of those things are love bombing. And so it's not 100% genuine. And if you don't catch it early enough, you could find yourself in a love bombed relationship in the beginning, and then next thing you know, ooh, true colors come out. They can only keep it up for about so long. But when it comes in as a gentle, just this is when you just kind of learn like, okay, it's soft, it's small steps, it's not too big. I can start to build trust, right? And that's what we should be looking for, right? Finding ways to deal with those very soft and gentle gestures, pushes into our life as we are embracing love and look at it from every aspect, right? Look at where you are, where you need it, right? And again, the last thing is just stop resisting. Stop resisting because it's not packaged and the pain is not packaged the way that you want it. In my book, Dear Single in Love, Chapter 3, we do talk about that, like as far as the physical characteristics of a person, the packaging, right? When you read that chapter, the packaging that you're probably going to expect is not the packaging that is going to exist in that book, right? Um, but then even the packaging and just, you know, the fact that it's not coming in with drama, accusations, all these different things. That is a beautiful thing. You don't want that. I'm telling you, especially if you're in your 40s, even your late 30s. I definitely know in your 50s and 60s. Nobody wants to deal with all of that noise, right? I love being in my house. You see how quiet it is in my house? The only noise that happens is when Jelly Bean wants to start barking. Other than that, it is quiet in here. Why would I want to be in a relationship where you're coming in and not noise of like you telling me beautiful things or you singing me some beautiful music. No, you're screaming. No, right? Resist that. And I know what that feels like because when I was younger, I remember being one of those women, like one of those girls. It was just like, oh, he's a good dude, right? And I, y'all right. People talk about good dudes finish last. They're not lying, especially in our early days. I have been in that space before where it was just like, oh no, I want the person that, it's a little bit of excitement. No, I don't, not anymore. I learned that in my 20s, I didn't want that anymore, right? After the first drama that I dealt with, I was in one drama-led situation, and it was just like, boy, I don't want to deal with this. I left that to go somewhere that was safe. So I went somewhere that was consistent. I went somewhere that I can, kind of be a little bit soft, a little bit. So you have to just kind of just get to this space of just like, what are you resisting and figuring out why you resisting it. That's all that I really want you, and so I want you to ask yourself, like, where in my life am I resisting love, care, or consistency? And I'm putting this up here so that you can reflect on this. And I really want you to like think about this because I think so often we don't take this into consideration, right? Where in your life are you still resisting love, care, or consistency, even if it's safe to receive it? Where? Right? Only you can answer that question. And I want you to take the time to answer that question for yourself because it's going to answer so much for you. It's going to lead you in the direction that you need to go so that you will know, like, all right, yes, I'm in the right space or I'm in a safe space. So reflect on that. Take some time to really reflect on this question so that you can go ahead and you can figure out what it is that you need next in your life. All right. I probably would finish this on next week for about. I have two more things that I want to talk about, um, especially since I didn't get to go live yesterday. So yeah, next week we'll continue this conversation because again, I'm talking to my singles, and there's a reason why I'm talking to my singles, because God made so many promises to us, and I feel like a lot of us are not believing God right now. And I mean, the people that I'm around people who are having these conversations, and I'm reading these conversations, and there's a lot of people who just don't believe. And I do believe that a lot of it has to come with just the fact of their mindset. If your mindset is not there, you're going to continue to believe that you can never have a safe relationship, that you can never be vulnerable, that you can never be with someone that is just great for you, and that is a great space for you, and for you to be a great space for them. And I want to help as many singles while they're single to get through that mindset, right? That's a part of the healing part of it, so that they can be prepared for the life and the person that's meant for them. Um, and again, there's some people who are just never going to get married. And I think those people, the more that they have those conversations, some people, I know I've met someone that they told me that, God had told them in prayer that they were not going to get married, and they're on that path, and they have accepted. And it's like when you speak to them, you don't hear any animosity, you don't hear any resentment. And so I would just love for everyone to just kind of get on the chord that God desires for them, so that they can have everything that God needs for them. Sorry, my hand is itching right now. Whew. So if you want to connect with me, go to my link tree. You can connect with me about my community, about my books. Dear Single in Love is one of my books. It's available on Amazon. My blog, I do have some a recent blog post that I put up. And if you just have any questions about my courses that I have, please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out. But I am your girl, Tanisha. Your name is Inspiration. I will see you all next week. Have an amazing weekend. And I will see you back here Monday, 7 a.m. Central Time. And have a good one. Be well, be blessed.